Hey, welcome everybody. I'm here with Relics of Raptors Gaming. Hi, Steve.
Hello.
We're just trying something new. I'm getting ready to prepare for my channel in particular. Going to do something new starting in the first quarter, hopefully, of 2022. Um, but yeah, we're just going to go over a few things tonight and just kind of give this a whirlwind. We're still trying to figure out the live stream, so hopefully Steve and I can get that figured out because we're eventually going to do this live, so that way we can, get the subscribers' questions and anything in the chat. So we'll try and figure out the right program to actually use for that. So, of course, I'm TUFF Steel, and thanks everyone for tuning into this. So, Steve, one of the topics I want to talk about tonight with you is have you looked at the new games that are coming out next year, beginning of next year?
Um, kind of. I mean, there's like a couple games that I've seen that kind of tickle my fancy. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I've just been so busy here recently. I've been running every which way but loose. So,
Yeah, I know the feeling. I definitely know the feeling. Is there? Do you remember the names of the games in particular?
One of them is called Stray, I believe. I don't know if you saw any of that or not.
I
It's
have
like
not.
um
That's cool though. What's
it's
it
like
about?
you're like a cat, basically a stray cat, and it's like some weird like post-apocalyptic like setting. There's no humans, it's like robots and stuff, and you gotta like help them out and do other things, cat stuff. I don't know, like it's pretty crazy looking. And then it's not really a new game, but Bug Snacks is coming out with the new DLC at the beginning of the year,
And you
maybe
played that
called,
before, didn't you?
yeah,
Bugs.
but
Yeah,
it's Big Snacks. It's like the new one or whatever, so that's gonna
yeah.
be cool.
Oh,
It's gonna be
cool.
like a whole other game or whatever, or
Right,
at least
right.
a bunch of other stuff.
Well,
So
just for our viewers to be able to hear this, but I don't know if anybody else has actually looked at the new upcoming games first of the year. So, just going to go over some of those. In January, they have announced, in fact, January 11th, something called Weird West. That's going to be for PlayStation, Xbox, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC. There's Monster Hunter Rise. January 11th is Astroneer. That's only going to be for the Switch. And the Monster Hunter Rise, I forgot to say that it's going to be for PC only.
ooh,
New God of War is going to be for PC only. That comes out January 14th. There is Rainbow Six Extraction coming out, and that's going to be for PlayStation, basically all the PlayStations right now. Windjammers, I don't know anything about that. Baby Storm, Circuit Superstars, Poke.
Baby Storm.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Baby Storm. That's only for the
Oh
Switch.
man.
So I guess it's about
Oh.
giving birth to babies. I don't
What the baby birth childbirth simulator?
know.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Pokemon Legends is coming out for Switch. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves coming out for PlayStation 5 and PC. February, here's the one that I'm kind of looking forward to, and I know Darbs R Us is as well. Of course, I still got to play the first one, um, which I'm excited to try out because he said I probably would like it. So I may buy it at the beginning of the year and actually stream it. But it's called Dying Light 2, so he's looking forward to that. Dying Light has already been out, and of course, it was a pretty popular game. So that's coming out February 4th. Then we got Ollie Ollie World, Sifu, Crossfire X, No by Heart, and the list just goes on and on. Oh, and there's a new Dynasty Warriors coming out.
Oh.
So
Oh
Dynasty
yeah, don't
Warriors 9.
forget the new Saints Row also.
Yes, and I saw that on this list. Trying to figure out.
Saints Row the reboot.
Yeah, let me scroll down here. Gran Turismo 7 comes out in March. Which I know you're a race car fan. Where did I see that Saints Row? Saints Row is in August.
Nice.
So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, I know it got pushed back a little bit, but you know,
Yeah,
hopefully they ouch. Oh man, I got scratched. Hopefully they don't have a whole battlefield situation on their hands when that game launches
right,
because I don't know. I can't believe that what happened with that game. Like
right. Yeah,
it's crazy.
I know. Well, and since we're on the battlefield topic, I know I had explained to everybody that I usually don't like to, buy a game brand new when it first comes out. So I like to wait a little bit. But if you remember, Steve, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if you remember when Battlefield 4 came out, which
Oh, it
was,
was a broken mess, man.
yes, which was back in 2013, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it took roughly 3 years for them to actually get it perfected.
Oh
And
yeah. I
so,
mean, at least 3 years. So
right,
it's not something that's gonna, happen overnight. I mean,
right,
all the issues have to get addressed, obviously, and there's quite a few of them. So
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, and
I'd rather him like fix everything right than just throw out a game that's like half broken. Like kind of what happened. But
right,
at the same time, Call of Duty Vanguard was coming out. It right around Black Friday. I mean,
right.
from a business standpoint, I mean, they kind of had to, but
Yeah,
I'm sure that there's like what 3 different companies working on that game, so
right, right. And I,
hopefully with everybody, it'll
and
it'll
I don't
work.
I don't think that Battlefield 4 is broken. Yes, it still has issues. I mean, you could obviously still find glitches and stuff in the game, which is also really cool because you and I have
Oh
obviously
yeah,
experienced that numerous times. So, especially with the C4 launching cars and stuff, I mean
yeah.
that's great. But just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a background story, Steve and I met with another friend of mine. What was it, 3 years ago now?
I believe so. Yeah, pretty close, maybe.
Okay. And basically, Steve, Relics of Raptors Gaming here, he was actually on his own server at the time. And me and Captain Peacock, if you guys have seen him play with me before, but me and Captain Peacock actually joined up with him. We saw this dude actually, he was ramping quad actually at the time. And we were just messing with Steve when we first, got into the server, and we just kind of, I don't know. We like did some teabagging and stuff, and
Well, no, you guys started launching the quad, and
yeah,
I
we
was
started
like,
launching the
oh yeah,
quad.
here we
Yeah,
go. Like,
and at the time, Steve was actually streaming, so he was just like, "Oh, look at these cool guys! They're sitting there like launching these quads up in the sky." Um, so I didn't even know anything about streaming, and actually, Steve is the one that introduced me and explained and showed me how to do that. So I definitely appreciate that. I never streamed before ever in my life until I started a couple years ago. So thank you, Steve, for allowing me to do that and teaching me the ways.
hey man, my pleasure.
Um, and just let's see, just a FYI, everybody has been asking me, about 2042. I'm actually going to get it this weekend, so I will be streaming that really soon. I know it's still broken. It's going to be broken for a long time, so I'm willing to play it, try it out. It's been out for almost a month actually now, so um,
I'm pretty sure we can still play together.
yeah,
I think. I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
don't
We'll
know
try it
why we
out, and
wouldn't be able to. So
yeah, maybe we can find some cool stuff on it, just like we have with Battlefield 4. So I'm really anxious to try it out. So Steve has got the PS5, which I have yet to get because it's so hard to get your hands on. So one of these
man,
days I will have it, but right now I'm just dealing with the PS4 and sticking with it. So um, yeah, so let's get into a little bit, Steve, just about your time in the service. So Steve is actually a veteran of the Marine Corps, correct?
yes sir.
All right. So tell me where all you have served and maybe a little bit about it.
Well, I went to basic training in 2003. Um, and basically served from 2003 to about 2012 ish And no, I was West Coast because in the Marine Corps you have East Coast and West Coast. So I was in San Diego. I'm a Hollywood Marine. Uh, Went to combat training in the West Coast, but I did my MOS training, which is like my job. I was a mechanic. I did that on the East Coast. So
Oh,
it's
cool.
usually, they stay on the coasts, like Camp Lejeune is the East Coast, Camp Pendleton is the West Coast. Been to both of them numerous times. So, and then I basically served the rest of my enlistment at Bravo Company, which is a engineer support company here in Indiana. It's a reserve unit in South Bend, Indiana, home of Notre Dame University.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like literally right down the road from our drill center. So
And then you were deployed overseas too. So
yep. I did roughly a year in Iraq. It was in Al Anbar province. Stayed at all over the place, really over there, but mainly I was at Al Taqaddum Air Base or TQ, uh, just in the west side of the country. West of Baghdad,
yeah.
that kind of stuff. Al Fallujah, Ramadi, that area. So that's where I was at.
And what did you do while you was over there, Steve? Like, what did you do for the military?
I was a uh, motor team mechanic. That was my main job, but I was also combat correspondent for AM General, and that's the company that makes the Hummer, like the vehicle or whatever.
Right. Right.
So had special training through them. Worked at the factory there in South Bend or Mishawaka or whatever you want to call it. I mean, they're right next to each other, so
Right.
uh, basically, worked with the civilians and stuff. And it wasn't just the Humvee that I worked on. I worked on Oshkosh 7 tons, which are the big like 6-wheel trucks that
Right.
the Marines have. I worked on the logistic vehicle system, the LVS, which are like the really weird looking trucks that like bend in half when they turn. They're real weird and they're always breaking down like pieces of junk and stuff. But I
Yeah.
mean, I basically, before I deployed, see, my grandfather was in World War II and he told me, like, try to learn everything you can because you never know when you'll need whatever skill or whatever. So, I mean, you name it, heavy equipment, electronics, radio. I tried to learn it. So,
Right. And
and I mean, that just also helps keep you occupied. And when you're over there, when there's really nothing to do, but I mean, there was
right.
always something to do where I was at. So that wasn't a problem.
And in your opinion, Steve, while you was over there, how did the people, the Afghan people, actually feel about the Americans being over there? Just in your opinion.
Uh, Iraqi people. Um, I mean,
Were they
kind
excited?
of.
Were they scared that
Well,
U.S. was
I
over
mean, like
there?
where I was at, it was more like um I didn't man, I don't know. Some people, welcomed us or whatever, but most of the people, I don't know, would just give you cold looks and stuff. Like you they would just tolerate you, being there, but I don't know if they really approved of us being there.
So it
So
kind of gave you like the heebie-jeebies and like, oh, we probably shouldn't be here.
I mean, not really. I mean, okay, if anybody says that they weren't scared at one point, they're lying to you. I mean, that's war. I mean,
Sure,
you're
sure.
gonna be scared at some point. And I mean, most of the time, when I was out doing stuff, I mean, it was just, I would go out as a mechanic on these missions and stuff. So, I mean, I really did nothing like major, crazy, like, uh, I don't know. I was helping the engineers out because that's basically all I did. I was with an engineer support company and we were basically building a road that ended right in front of Uday Hussein's palace, and there was a dam that went across the river, and we were basically like building a road to go over this dam. And the whole time, I mean, Uday's palace had this giant wall around it, and you could just see like this palace was like Swiss cheese, man. Like we messed that place up big
Right.
time, dude. So like, and it was just I don't know that, and I did a couple other missions where you know like um I had to pee really bad. So I got out of the truck and I start peeing or whatever, and that was like the first time that like I'd ever experienced like combat of any kind.
Right.
And like as I'm peeing, a round hits the truck like right behind me,
Oh
and
gosh.
yeah, like I could like I don't know. It felt weird, like somebody like threw salt on me or something,
Yeah.
like I just or sand. That's just it's how it felt. Like just the I don't know what it was, just the bullet fragmenting on the armor. It just hit me in the back or whatever. It didn't hurt or anything. It just but the sound it made was like I don't know, man. It was like deafening. It was like a explosion going off,
Yeah.
like a really loud firecracker going off, like right behind your head. That's what it sounded
So
like.
it's
And
just like one of those moments where you just pinch it off real quick and just hurry up and take off and get out of there.
well, I mean, like, okay, so I don't know, like, at the time I wasn't allowed to talk about this kind of stuff, but I mean, hell, that was like years and years ago. This was 2006, 2007 when I
Yeah.
was deployed over there. So I'm sure, I mean, oh, if anybody's listening, ooh, sorry, but like, um, we were basically tasked with filling a blast crater that they tried to blow up a tank, and I guess all that happened was it just blew like a tread off it, and it left a hole in the road about the size of a school bus. So it took like 2 days of nothing but like filling dirt in this hole and then going over it with concrete and everything because they figured out like, oh, we blew up their vehicle in this spot. So that's a good spot. So since there's already a hole there, let's just put another bomb in that hole. Like, and that's
Oh
exactly
man.
what they would do.
Right.
So um basically the engineers, we would either go out on route clearance, which is like you find the bombs, or route repair. And that was the worst, man. You would literally drive about 3 miles an hour all night long because we only worked through the night. And every little crack in the road, every pothole, I mean, we had to fix all of it. And I mean, like, this is Iraq we're talking about. They don't have good
Sure.
roads.
Sure.
So, I mean, you could just imagine like all the freaking work that we did, like all throughout the night. Oh man,
Right.
so boring, dude. Like
I'm sure. I'm sure.
so boring. But I mean, most of the time when I would go out, because I was also a 240 golf gunner, um, my cat, you know, that I mean, you got to be vigilant and awake at all times as a gunner, but as a mechanic, like we did such a good job at like fixing our vehicles that they would hardly ever break. So you're just sitting in a truck all night, like trying to
Right.
stay awake. And that's when the fun stuff happened. I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure. At nighttime especially, that's basically when things really went wrong and probably went south a lot.
Well, I mean, there was a countrywide curfew that like at dusk you had to be in your house, and if you weren't, then you better had a good reason why you weren't, like like an emergency or something, or basically we would look at you like you're an enemy. So I mean, by law, you weren't allowed to be outside. But I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff happen over there. Like I saw somebody's house burn down, basically. Like, and I mean, like it was just a freak accident. Like had nothing to do with military stuff. I mean, they might have been cooking something and something just caught on fire or something. I don't know, but I
Right.
felt really bad because I mean, you're watching people lose everything they own, basically. Whoa, man. Woo!
Hello, kitty.
Yeah, man, scratch me. But yeah, I mean, I, that was pretty crazy. I mean, now I'm getting attacked. Sorry.
You're fine.
Oh
You're
man,
fine. It just makes the
perks of
video
having a
more
baby
interesting.
kitty.
It's totally fine. So,
Well, I would show you. I got this cat tower.
yeah.
And I'm 73 inches tall, and this thing is 74 inches tall. So it's 1 inch taller than I am.
Oh
And
wow.
she's on the very top of it. Oh god, here she comes. Oh man.
You just love that cat, don't you?
Don't hurt me, man.
So you've had this cat for what? Month,
Three
two,
months,
3 months?
I think.
Okay.
3 months.
I remember you
I
telling me
got
about the
her
cat, but
right like basically at the end of like September, beginning of October.
yeah,
And
that's
then
cool.
yeah, she this lady in a town over from us had her, and my boss's wife is friends with her on Facebook, and
Yeah,
well, I was discussing having a cat, and then my boss is like, "Hey,
right,
there's this cat," and I'm like, "Oh man," it was like 8:30 at night, and I'm like, "Ah man, I don't even have a litter box or anything for a cat or whatever," and
right,
he's like, "Well, PetSmart closes at 9, man," and I'm like, "All right, I guess here we go," and then the rest is history.
right,
So
right. That's
she's
cool.
she's crazy.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that. So, any
takes
questions
after
you
her
want to
dad.
ask me? I know I just asked you about your military background stuff. So, just before we wrap
Uh,
this up, I don't want to make this too long, so we'll
oh yeah,
keep it
man.
somewhat short. But
How'd you get into doing what you do for the school system?
um, oh,
Here she is.
that's a
Hey,
really good question. Oh, meow meow, kitty kitty.
there's Mocha. Her name's Mocha.
She's like, oh, I'm so wild. Hi, Mocha. Hi, Mocha.
Oh, she's in the other room now. She's
Oh, she
like,
just yeah, just takes
let
off.
me go.
Yeah, that's that kitten in her, so for sure. Um, so basically, I grew up around my grandfather who did a lot of construction stuff. So I literally watched him and helped him, with little stuff that I could. But of course, he's since then been passed. He passed away in 2001. But yeah, I learned a lot just from him being a tradesman, and I mean he could probably build a house if he wanted to. So um, my main career job that I had was back in 2004 as a utility worker. So I dealt with cable installation and cable repair, fiber repair. Um,
Oof.
so yeah, I was
I know all about fiber repair, man. I heard it sucks really bad,
yeah, it's
especially like in the cold dead of winter, like
right.
or
Yeah, it's
dead cold of winter. I mean,
not easy, especially in case nobody ever knew this. I'm actually in Ohio, so your winters can be cold, summers can be hot and sticky, which you're in Indiana, so I'm sure you feel the same pain that I do. But yeah, so I did that for 11 years. Unfortunately, I got laid off in 2015, and just for reasons unknown, there was 3,000 of us that got let go. So that was kind of a big hit and devastation for me. But yeah, after that, since I already had kind of a maintenance background, I started at the schools that I'm at now. I actually started there as a groundskeeper, so I basically
so you
just
started in 2015?
at the schools.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was shortly after that. I had a
Oh
good
man,
good
I didn't know
severance
you've been
package.
working there that long.
Yeah, I had a good severance package from getting laid off from the utility company, so I didn't really have to search right away, which was nice.
That's
Um,
good.
yeah, so then I got on the school. I started as a grounds person, so I dealt with like the fields and keeping those trim mowed. Still did the snow plowing and stuff like that. So then I left and I went and accepted a management position, which was still maintenance at a nursing home. Well, it was actually considered assistant living. So I went there for 2 years. Unfortunately, management kind of got changed around a little bit, and I decided to go back to school because they had a maintenance supervisor position open. So I applied for it, got right in. So because they all remember me from before, they knew who I was and how I was, and so yeah, I've basically been back for another almost 2 years again now. So I got to keep my seniority, which was good. So I didn't lose any of that for the 2 years I was gone. So yeah,
Score.
yeah, exactly. So
That's
that's where I'm
awesome.
at, and I'm basically I'm over top of other guys as well, but not very many. It's a small crew. I kind of watch and train the grounds guys now. And I'm pretty much the only fix-it guy there. And then we have one HVAC guy who is certified as HVAC and deals with that. So yeah, that's how I wound up there.
So, how many schools are in the school system that you take care of?
So there's only one school system, but I have multiple buildings. So we have a board office, and then we have elementary school. We have the bus garage. We have a middle school, high school, which is actually combined in one building.
So it's all like a K-12 or whatever,
Yes,
or K through 12 or
yes, K through
whatever.
12. They also have a preschool there as
Oh,
well.
dang.
So, and then we have an intermediate school that I also take care of. So, yeah, a lot of my main duties there is plumbing, electrical, and your basic stuff. Really, we still do a lot of the contracting work. Um, so if it's a bigger project that I can't tackle on myself, then we definitely contract that out. So, which is funny because one of our school systems, which is the intermediate school, is on a well system. So everybody that has viewed my channel before has probably seen me out at the intermediate school a lot. Well, there's a reason for that. It's because it's on a well system, so I have to test the water out there every day. So just because it is on a well system. So you guys have probably seen videos of me shooting down there. In fact, I've even said, well, this is our intermediate school, and it's really nice. They have an actual nature preserve out there that is
Is
owned
that
by the
the
state.
one that has like the pump house or whatever?
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
when you've heard me talk about the pump house, that's basically where that well pump is, coming into that building right there. And then I have to add in salt, for the water softening. I got to check the chlorine levels, make sure the chlorine is good.
Dang, so you
So
got to take care of all that stuff.
yes, yes.
Oh, man.
Now, if anything fails, then I can fix whatever I can. But we had a drilling company that came in and installed those wells, and they have their own, mechanical, items in there. So if it's something that belongs to them, then they have to come in and actually fix it. So
I
yeah, so it
gotcha.
just depends. But yeah, I'm kind of the jack of all trades, and I really have just taught myself over the years how to do all this stuff. So nothing really fancy about it.
Well, that's good. Like my grandpa said, learn everything you can because you never know when you're going to need a
Absolutely,
skill, and
absolutely.
something funny, uh, my stepmom and my dad saw one of your videos,
Oh
and it
yeah.
was the one where you were like, "There's some guy back here by this pond or whatever,"
Oh
and I had to run him off, and he hit
yeah.
me in the face
Had
with this rock.
had the rock in the eye. Oh yeah,
My stepmom saw that. She was like, "Oh my goodness!"
yeah.
She thought
So that
first.
that was actually in the nature preserve at the intermediate school, and there's a pond. There's a couple ponds actually down there, and yeah. So when I do some of my videos, I like to act crazy, which people that have watched my channel they already know that, and of course they've heard you on my streams before, and they know that we get crazy and rowdy on the whenever we're doing multiplayer games. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, she was pretty shocked when the camera went to your face and you could see that rock in your eye. She was like,
Yeah,
"Oh goodness!" Like she thought like you
yeah.
really
There
got
was
beamed in the eye. Like it was funny.
So on that rock, yeah, you probably noticed the eyeball or whatever that I painted on it. That was actually whiteout. So there was some whiteout in the pump house there, and I was like, oh, I'll just take some whiteout and just draw a little eye. So that's what I did, and I was just like,
I wish I could have got a reaction on tape because it was priceless, man. Like, it's pretty funny.
yeah, well, thanks. It was I had to put some thought into it. I was like, man, what can I do? I was like, I like doing these little maintenance, stories and stuff, and I tried to make them real short and everything. But I was like, what can I do to make this funny? And that just popped in my head. I was like, oh,
Well, I think like if I remember right, it had like a viewer discretion warning at the beginning of it before the video plays.
oh, did it?
So yeah, so I was like, well, that's weird. This is my friend, and they were
Oh
like,
wow.
oh man, well, I want to see it. And then like we watched it, and then You were like, yeah, they hit me right in the eye, and then she was like, oh my goodness.
I guess it looked that real that they just said, "Well, we got to put a viewer discretion on there." So I don't know.
I don't know, man. I
That's
might have
pretty
to check
funny.
that out again and see if it's still on there. But yeah,
I
I wish I
I
could have
think it
got their
is.
reaction.
I don't
My
really normally go back and watch my videos, so I couldn't tell you. But they haven't said that. Well, you're banned. You can't show that or whatever. So that's I guess that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, this is YouTube. You got to do something
Right.
crazy to get banned,
Oh yeah, yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
or just put porn on there. But I
Right.
mean, that's probably the easiest way to get banned on
Yeah,
YouTube, I guess. Like,
exactly right. Well, hey, I don't want to, let this drag out too much longer, but I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like I said, we're still working on this to where we can, Steve just stay with me for just a moment as I get ready to stop this. But yeah, I just wanted to, show something new to my channel, allow the subscribers and stuff to Steve's channel and also my channel. Just kind of get to know a little bit about us and how we are as characters. We definitely act like a bunch of fools sometimes when we all get together and play multiplayer, but we have a lot of fun doing it, man. And that's what this my channel and Steve's channel is really all about. It's just having fun, and we don't care if we're the best gamers out there. We don't care if we're the worst gamers out there. It's just a matter of just having a good time and being with friends and just enjoying the time that we do have. So life is too short, man.
exactly,
It's just too
exactly.
short. So,
Yes, sir.
but yeah,
Amen to that.
yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And Steve, I definitely appreciate you helping me out with this tonight, and we'll keep on working at it, buddy. And next time I'll have like a list of questions to ask you, and we'll just kind of get to know each other a little bit
Yeah, this will
more.
be the real tough talk. Remember that?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.